So I showed a video this morning of it snowing out in my front yard. And this person noticed that we don't have sidewalks where I live and asked the question, do you all not have sidewalks? Depends on where you're at. So where we're at, and I don't know where you guys are, but by and large in the Chicagoland area, in the suburbs of Chicago, a sidewalk indicates that you have city services in the parkway. So that piece of land in between your sidewalk and your curb is where it's technically owned by the village or town or municipality that you live in. And that's where they can dig up anytime they want to access your gas line, your gas line going to your home for your gas for your stove and your heat and whatnot, and your water, your B box is usually out there. And so if you live in an area that has city services like that, chances are you have a sidewalk and a parkway. You own up to the sidewalk, they own the sidewalk and the parkway, you're in charge of maintaining all of it. Where I live, some places in town have city services, other places do not. In my specific neighborhood, the front, would you say 2/3 of the neighborhood, Renee?
Yeah. I mean, it's just this last third.
Yeah, so where we live in our subdivision, we're all the way in the back of the subdivision, and it was the original part that was built. The other 2/3 of the subdivision that were built after this, in front of us, so to speak, they have city services, they have sidewalks and parkways. Where I'm at, the portion of the neighborhood that we're in, we are on our own private well and our own septic system. So when you're showering, when you're washing dishes, when you flush your toilet, it doesn't go to the front to some collective sewer or whatever the case may be. It goes to my own septic system in the back, in my backyard. I have a huge septic tank and then feeder lines out from there. I have to maintain that tank and get it cleaned out every so often and make sure that I don't drive bobcats and shit over my backyard so I don't crush my lines. And then we're on our own well. We have a well in the front yard. I don't know how deep we are. I'd have to look at the paperwork. And then that well comes underneath my front yard and feeds into a well tank, a pressurized well tank in my basement. And so that's why where I'm at, we don't have sidewalks. And I got to tell you, I love it. I love the fact that there's not that sidewalk breaking up my front yard. I love the fact that I go all the way to the curb. It's one continuous lawn. I like it better. There's a little bit less pedestrian traffic, but we would have less pedestrian traffic anyway because my subdivision is up on a bluff that, geographically speaking, a bluff that overlooks the rest of the town. So we are detached from the rest of the town. We're all the way up on this hill, tucked away, where no matter where you are in town, you're not walking to my subdivision. It's just not happening. You're going to get in a car and you're going to drive here. So the only people that are ever walking the streets here are from this immediate subdivision. It's never from a neighboring subdivision that might bleed over into us. It just doesn't happen that way. So, no, where I'm at, we don't have sidewalks. We don't have city water. We don't have city sewer. The city comes by and picks up our trash. Otherwise, we're...
City doesn't.
Not,
That's an outside service.
it's an outside service, but the city, they operate through a contract with the city. But otherwise, we're sort of quote-unquote self-sustained. Yeah, we have electricity from ComEd and gas from Nicor, but
Internet from Verizon.
and internet from Verizon. But no, that's why we don't have sidewalks in our neighborhood.